Hello friends, this is Ralph and I'm back with another tutorial for the Behringer 2600, the ARP 2600 or any other 2600 clone. In today's video I'm showing you what you can do with the sample and hold module and the electronic switch. So stay tuned. If you are new to my YouTube channel and to the Behringer 2600, then please make sure you check out my beginner tutorial. I put the link to that video either up here and also into the description box of today's video. Moreover, I have created a bunch of other videos about the ARP 2600 and the Behringer 2600. Again, I put the link into the description box and also up here. I kindly ask you for a favor. If you benefit from my tutorials, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also you may want to consider sharing my videos with your friends. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's tutorial. For that, we move over to the Behringer 2600. Alright, before I'm going to explain you the sample and hold module, let me tell you that I have an Arturia key step attached to the Behringer 2600 via MIDI, and we are going to work with this sound. Take a listen. That's the sound we are going to work with. So, what the sample and hold module is doing, it takes a control voltage sample from the noise generator, holds this control voltage for a moment, and then it repeats the process. The speed at which this is happening is determined by this rate slider here. I want to show you a patch that can be used in a musical way, a percussive filter sound. So what we are doing, we take the sample and hold out and plug it into the control section of the VCF and move the slider all the way up. Now take a listen. You can hear that's the samples, the control voltage samples taken from the noise generator modulate the frequency of the filter. So you can also trigger the envelopes via the sample and hold clock by moving this slider downward. Let's bring in some noise. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I want to add some kind of panning effect, moving the filter percussion sound from left to right. And for that we are going to use the electronic switch here. The electronic switch takes two signals and routes it through one output. And it switches from A to B, alternating between these input sources. And the speed at which it is happening is also determined by the rate slider. The cool thing about the electronic switch is that you can also use it the other way around. It's bidirectional. But in our case now, we take the VCA output and plug it here into the electronic switch input, jack C. Then we take a cable from jack A and plug it into the left input of the mixer. And then we take jack number B and plug it into the right input of the mixer. In order to make this effect more obvious, I move the slider in the final, the VCA slider in the final mixer all the way down. Now here. You can hear how this percussive filter sound is moving from one side to the other. And the speed, here the rate slider increases the speed at which this is happening. In order to add more volume and reverb to this sound, we have to move the VCA slider back into the final mixer. Now you can hear the sound gets more volume, and now we can also bring in the reverb. I want to show you one more thing here. The Behringer 2600, ARP 2600, or any other 2600 clone doesn't come with a sequencer, but you can create some kind of arpeggio and sequences with a sample and hold module. The pre-wired setting of the sample and hold module is that it takes its control voltage samples from the noise generator. But you can also override this thing by feeding the sample and hold with other input sample sources. For instance, the LFO here, the triangle waveform. So we take the LFO triangular waveform output and plug it into the sample and hold input. Now we move to oscillator number 2. It's in the mixer all the way up. And also use the pre-wired sample and hold section to modulate the frequency, the pitch of VCO number 2. Listen. Changing the LFO speed. We bring in the reverb. And now we bring in VCO number 1, doing the same thing. Changing the LFO speed again. And here again we can use the electronic switch to pan between the left and right channel. And the speed at which this is happening is also determined by the rate slider of the sample and hold. So once again, we take the VCA output, plug it into jack C of the electronic switch. Then we take jack A, plug it into the left input. And then jack B, we plug it into the right input of the mixer. Once again, we move down the VCA slider in the final mixer to make the effect more obvious. compressor and the reverb. Alright, that's it for today. Let me know in the comment section what you are doing with the sample and hold module on the Behringer 2600 or your ARP 2600 or your 2600 clone. Let me know what you are doing with this module. Before I sign off, I want to say again, please, you may want to subscribe to my Instagram channel, because in the future I'm going to do some live streams over there about the things that inspire me for making music, such as movies and books. So perhaps you are interested in that kind of stuff, and I hope to see you there. So you'll find the link to my Instagram account in the description box of today's video. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. I hope I see you again in my next video. Until then, I say, as always, take care, stay safe, peace.